Hello and welcome back to the Daily Gaffer, brought to you by Armchair Gaffers, with me, Jess, or as you guys have taken to calling me, Mr. Continental. Today, I'm joined by Dan, as you know.
Good morning. I'm in my pajamas.
Well, you cut me off, now I've got to do it again. It's not morning time either, because it's coming out at like 3 o'clock. Jesus Christ. Hello. Fucking hell, Dan, I can't work with you no more. Dom, what, are you free Sunday evenings? We've got a podcast going.
We've got a space.
Space
has just come up.
It's just open there. Right, let's go again. Hello and welcome back to the Daily Gaffer, brought to you by Armchair Gaffers, with me, Jess, and today I have Dan, as you know.
Here in pajamas.
And very special guest, Dom.
Respect and blessings.
Dom has got his own page, Cook with Dom, and today he's going to make us a Caribbean influenced continental breakfast. Just for me, Mr. Continental. I look forward to it. I can't wait. Before we get there though, we look through the papers and we discuss the fixture between Spurs and City, the supposed showdown between Jose and Pep. Also look at Pep's new contract and see if that has any bearing on the likelihood of Messi joining Pep at the Etihad. We also look at Anton Ferdinand, who has a TV show coming out on the 30th of November, talking about racism in football. We discuss the heading rule, which they're trying to abolish, and look at the impact of the international fixtures on players returning back and having to self-isolate due to coronavirus. We hope you enjoy, but before we get there, let's get cooking with Dom.
Okay, my name's Dom. I'm here with the AC Gaffers. Today we're just gonna cook a continental style breakfast. Here, cook with Dom. So first of all, got your ingredients. We have some onion, some bell pepper, spring onion or scallion as we would say in Jamaica. We've got some garlic, sweet pepper, ackee, plantain, and some saltfish. All sorted. Yeah?
Cool, so the first paper we are doing today is the Daily Mirror. Lead with the back page in the doc, Dan. This is Jose Mourinho, who's now overnight a qualified doctor. He's saying that it's a bit suspicious that Sterling is playing today, despite missing a few games with a supposed injury for England.
Do we think that it is not a genuine injury? Teams are playing 3 times a week. Lack of pre-season. Is it not okay for players to be unfit?
No. You have to be fit from...
They're robots.
Yeah, they're actually robots. The paper goes on to say Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho have traded blows ahead of today's showdown after the Tottenham boss questioned Raheem Sterling's England absence. So Sterling didn't play for England during the week. Mourinho thinks it's a bit suspicious that he didn't play then, but he's expected to play in the big kickoff this evening.
Again, it's Mourinho finding his feet. I guess the old Mourinho, there's a little bit of a spring in his step, if you will. And this is just a little bit of mind games in kind of a throwback to Arsene Wenger and Fergie days where they kind of jibe each other before a game. And I think this is just a little bit of that. If you can manage to unsettle them, it's a slight competitive advantage. And yeah, he's all about that.
That is typical Mourinho. Guardiola's hit back asking if Mourinho is a doctor. The answer is yes.
Diagnosed that Sterling is fine and should have played in the international break. But I think this is just classic mind games. Try rattle your opponent before a big game.
Why not? On the subject of health, still in the Daily Mirror, it's reported that we have 8 clubs hit by coronavirus as a result of their players going away on international duty.
And going to weddings.
Well, weddings. Where do we stand?
Was Salah wrong to go to his brother's wedding in the current circumstances?
I'm not going to attack Mo Salah. No, he wasn't wrong. You know, cops had a word with him, pulled him to one side, and whatever they said is going to stay between them. And I think it was a couple of weeks ago, Neil Warnock had a thing he said.
What did Neil Warnock say? Was it something
about going to... Why would players go to Timbuktu to play football when they can spend their time in lovely
Margate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Gaffers, where do you stand? Should we still have international football during this pandemic? And if not, what does that do for the Euro 2020/2021 tournament?
Yeah, Nations League and whatnot. But these games need to be played.
Champions League, Europa League, even more importantly.
Or your new, what is it, Europa?
All the new UEFA Europa Conference League. Today is the 21st of November 2020. On this day in the year 2000, West Ham and Leeds reached a £18 million agreement to see Rio Ferdinand transfer from what was then Upton Park to Ellen Road, becoming the most expensive defender in the world at the time at £18 million.
It's a bargain.
How the world has changed.
How much would Rio Ferdinand be worth in today's market?
Rio Ferdinand today, not Rio Ferdinand from back then. If Rio Ferdinand came back to football right now, how much? We're joking. We're kidding. Also on today, in 2015, Jamie Vardy scored for the 10th match in a row to equal Ruud van Nistelrooy's Premier League record in a 3-0 win at Newcastle. And the story that's really got me, on this day in 2007, England boss Steve McLaren took a gamble by axing David Beckham for the make or break Euro qualifier with Croatia. He chose Shaun Wright-Phillips instead, and also opted for rookie keeper Scott Carson in place of Paul Robertson. Obviously the move backfired. England lost 3-2 at a soggy Wembley. They missed out on the finals, and McLaren went down in history as the Wally with
the Brolly. The next paper we take a look at is the Daily Mail. There's an exclusive with James Maddison.
Before we continue, I love the Daily Mail because the title lets you know it's a daily paper.
Yeah, in case you...
Because there's a show out there called the Daily Gaffer, and it's actually a weekly show.
Who would ever think of doing that?
Madness.
Doesn't make sense. But yeah, here we are.
James Maddison.
James Maddison. I want people talking about me again.
You have players like Sancho, who didn't get a look in this last week, and Sterling, who wasn't even involved.
Yeah.
And you got players coming through like Hudson-Odoi, and players coming back like what?
Yeah, sorry. Players coming back.
Like Chamberlain. So there's a lot going on.
What? I don't know. We agree to disagree on that. But he continues and carries on saying that he's desperate to be the main man for club and country. He believes there is a gap for him in the England side when he watches. Goes on to say he loves the limelight and loves being booed and fouled by opponents and whatnot. So he's someone who's ready to be the main man and push England, Leicester forward. But yeah, he says he sees a gap in this England team for him, but I'm not sure myself where he fits into the current setup. But that's not to say he's not a great player. Also, the Mail have another story on Højbjerg and the impact he has had at Spurs. Martin Keown talking tactics, and it's just a small piece on Emil Højbjerg and his impact at Spurs. Man like Højbjerg.
Where did he come from? Was it Southampton?
Yeah, Southampton, but he was also at Bayern Munich when he was younger.
What is it about Southampton though?
the academy is.
What is it about? Whether it's the academy or players that they sign, Dusan Tadic, Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, James Ward-Prowse,
The list goes on.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. What is it about Southampton?
Must be something in the water down there.
Sorry about that.
Is that your agent?
Gal? Now, not less than 20 million, mate. Well, you tell him, yeah? No, I'll tell you what to tell him. Yeah? Tell him to stuff it. Call me back.
Sorry. So yeah, Højbjerg. And I'll be watching him very closely today in what is probably a game of the weekend and a game which will have a big impact, I think, on the title race.
The nation's favourite, Daily Express.
They must be loving it right now because they love mention of Diana, and she's very, very newsworthy again at the minute.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they exist as a paper, just by consistently mentioning stories about Diana. But that's a side note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lost my train of thought. So the story I'm going with, Pep, a boost in bid to sign Messi. So, in case you aren't already aware, Pep Guardiola recently signed a 2-year contract extension. He's already been at City for 4 years now.
He is currently in his 5th season.
Oh my goodness, time flies. He's currently been there for 5 years, so it's already his longest job.
Yes.
So it's going to be his even longest job.
Well, it will be his longest, yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic news for everyone on the blue half of Manchester.
And in the Prem, I think.
Pardon me?
I think the Prem full stop.
Oh no, I love him in the Prem. Yeah.
I think it's good that the Prem has one of the greatest managers of our times.
They're saying that with Pep signing this extension on his contract, it's going to work in their favour when it comes to negotiations, imminent negotiations to sign Messi as soon as this January. Which is quite funny because Pep did say, in regards to Lionel Messi, I would like, as a Barcelona fan, for Leo to finish there. So, there as in Barca. So, he has openly said he wants Leo to finish his career at Barcelona. But if that's what he feels on the inside, who knows? And quickly, before we move on, the prospect of Messi in the Premiership with potentially Ronaldo coming back to United, blue half of Manchester, red half, it's mouth-watering. But it's just speculation as it stands.
Yeah, strictly paper talk.
Which is what we're here for. Lastly, in the Daily Express, I just like saying Daily Express.
Sounds nice.
This is probably my favourite newspaper in terms of name, because not only do they let you know it's daily, but it's the Express part of it as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Short
and
punchy
I like that thing they got, the little shield guy that was across St. George.
Okay.
No other paper has that, like a logo.
I'm sure there's probably someone who will explain that is some imperial colonization type thing, so you might want to...
He looks like a Templar.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll hunt down snitch, says...
Which gangster said that?
There's only one gangster in the Premier League at the moment looking for this snitch, and it's Mikel Arteta. So, Mikel Arteta has vowed to hunt down the Arsenal mole who is telling tales on his troubled squad. This is following an alleged bust-up between Dani Ceballos and David Luiz, in which one of the pair was apparently, allegedly...
Bloody nose, was it?
A bloody something. Who knows? But the Gunners boss was furious when news of a training ground bust-up between David Luiz and Dani Ceballos leaked out just after Willian had jetted off to an unauthorized trip to Dubai. Another big deal. But the Spaniard who will be quizzing his staff said the Ceballos row, I don't like the fact that the incident comes out at all, and I will find out where it's coming from. That goes completely against what we expect from each other and the privacy and the confidentiality that we need. There will be consequences.
If you had someone on your hit list from the Arsenal squad, who do you think it was that leaked the information?
Luiz. Luiz himself. That's by no means an accusation from us here at Armchair Gaffers.
No.
Let's go and see how Dom's doing with the grub.
Yeah,
it's nearly ready.
Starting.
So, as you're aware, Dom is currently making us a Jamaican Caribbean-inspired continental breakfast. He thought he'll pay homage to Mr. Continental himself.
John
me.
Barnes.
What?
Let's go.
Let's go and see what Dom's doing. Welcome back to the Daily Gaffer Continental Breakfast Special. We're now joined again with Dom, who has made this, I don't even know what to describe this as, this Caribbean continental reggae boys.
A tribute to Burton.
Je ne sais quoi.
Well, every Ricardo Gardner.
Shaka Hislop.
All of the Shaka.
Yeah, it's crazy. Quickly, let us know what you've done here.
So literally, we done some ackee and saltfish, which is actually Jamaica's national dish. We done some fried plantain, some fried dumpling, and we also just garnished it all with some grapes and some croissants, just to make it more continental, you know.
It needs to be, yeah.
That's it.
So basically, what I'm trying to say, if you ever want anything done, it's your down.
Sorry?
I'll translate. If you need any food, Caribbean food cooked for you, speak to Dom.
Cook with Dom.
Cook with Dom.
Right, we're gonna try and do the papers and do this.
Just what happened with talking, like, remember the grape situation where you were eating and Scorch said, Scorch isn't here, but I'm here to say just.
Never happened. Oh Lord. Okay, cool. Next, we're gonna do the sun.
Oh wait, did you introduce your?
Oh yeah, there was another
a sous chef in the kitchen.
Tried to steal the show later on.
Yeah. Later on, you came through with. Do you have anything for it? Any name for it?
So it's basically a chai flat white mocha.
Okay.
Secret recipe, guys. I honestly can't disclose the ingredients, but maybe if you stay tuned, I'll let you know one day. Back to the matter at hand.
I made the orange juice.
Freshly poured. The nation's favorite paper, the Sun. I get a lot of backlash from doing the Sun. So I'm gonna
I get it.
I'm gonna keep this bit nice and short. A small segment, PFA heading plea.
Okay.
So basically, the PFA are trying to basically limit the amount of headers players perform because of the link to dementia.
Yes.
So what they're saying now is that in training, no headers. It's just imagine if headers had been outlawed at grassroots, Harry Maguire wouldn't be a professional football player.
There's about to be a few non-professional footballers.
And Andy Carroll.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm trying to. We got to do one more, but I don't think
Everything to get cold.
it can't get cold. Okay.
The next paper, which we had a read through and we found noteworthy, is a piece from The Guardian.
The Guardian, that's the pull-out.
It is based around Anton Ferdinand. He's finally come out and spoken about the incident which happened in 2011 with him and John Terry. The Guardian done a really good piece on it, 2-page spread. And he just talks about kind of the impact that this had on not only his career and also his life. He was given kind of bullets in the post and sent hate mail and whatnot, and it just continued throughout his career, which doesn't make sense because he was the victim of racial discrimination, if you will, racial abuse. But yeah, he's gone into massive depth about it, and I guess it played on his mind for ages. He was in like turmoil and whatnot, and he said he hates himself for not speaking up. But now he has spoken up, and I think he will do so moving forwards, and it might help others to do the same. He's got a show coming out on BBC, I think on the 30th of November. I think the show's called like Racism, Football and Me, and he talks about the incident, the impact it had on his life, and kind of moving forwards how we can avoid these things. But it's a big story. And yeah, I'd love to speak to him about it because it's
very interesting.
It's an interesting story, and we know what football's like, where stories don't break and not a lot gets out. But yeah, he seems to kind of broken that code and he's speaking on his experiences. So yeah,
Yeah, all of that.
great point.
Lovely. As much as I want to do this, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys just give me some time, I'm just gonna. Jesus Christ, that's what you've done here is
Thank you, man.
Same time next week.
Thank you.
next week, tomorrow, tonight. So that's it from the Daily Gaffer. You've been joined by myself, Continental Jess.
Dan in pajamas.
Unfortunately.
Dom from Cook with Dom.
Make sure you stay tuned in for our next segment, and for all your cooking needs, visit Cook with Dom on Instagram, and he can do all of this and more. And we will see you next week. But where is the Daily Gaffer? We may see you tomorrow. It's one of those ones, but we hope you enjoyed. Peace out.